Welcome back. So this is a couple days after that local drift event that I went to. I took this, and I don't know if you can tell, which yeah, you can tell. I mean, like, the car is muddy. I mean, there is mud everywhere. All right, so the car in general, it did good. That tire over there did not rub. This one rubbed on a hard left turn. The backs didn't rub at all, but I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna get underneath and look. So I don't know, I honestly don't know what I need to do here. Maybe we'll massage this fender in a little bit more. Like right up in here. We'll see. But we're gonna go ahead, which is what we're gonna do, is we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna jack this thing up, we're going to take the wheels off of this thing, we're going to get rid of, like, we're gonna massage the rear fenders right here on both sides because they're so close to the tire. And then we're gonna go ahead and mess around with getting this bracket on right here, seeing how close it is, seeing if these are the bolts, seeing whatever I can do. So we're gonna go ahead, I might clean this thing today too. It's just filthy. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead, let's get this thing jacked up, get some jack stands under it, get the whole rear end taken apart, and let's see what we can find out underneath here. All right, got it jacked up on jack stands, wheels off, nice and sturdy. So what I'm like, what it is like right here. I mean, you can see that this is where a little bit of rust was, and I'm taking care of that. Yeah, we need to like start doing a little bit of body work around here. But this right here is where it kind of got bent down a little bit. So I think we're gonna go ahead and go around this and tap that up some. I don't want to go like over the top with this. Let's set the camera up over here. Because the backs aren't really rubbing all that much. Well, really, they're just, I haven't heard the backs rub hardly any. So I have a rubber hammer, and then I have like, basically a metal dolly. So hammer and dolly on this, and we're just, I'm not trying to like excessively roll the fenders. Just trying to get some of this out of the way. You know, there's still a little bit of rust up in there. I went over it with and wire wheeled it, so we're gonna have to clean this up a little more. Section right there, where it was rubbing, is pretty clean. Yeah, I think that should be good. What I'm thinking about doing is, while I'm down here, is going ahead and cleaning up these calipers. So like, these things are just have surface rust all over them. Yeah, we definitely need to clean these up. Maybe throw some black paint on there. I don't know. And then we gotta clean this out and hose this under. All right, so I think what I've got underneath here is pretty good. I don't want to like roll this whole edge because that's just too much work. And then it's like, you start getting into hammering all this up and you're gonna really like start to bake in these fenders. And everything on here, this is the only bad spot. So I think we're gonna leave it. That one spot was bad right there. We'll do the same thing on the other side because it just seems to stick out right here. It like nice and smooth, vroom, vroom. So we'll work that on the other side too. But while I'm here, let's go ahead and clean these brakes up. Okay, so we went ahead and we painted. So I was just messing around and wanted to see what it was like. So painted the brake red. This is the that's the brake pad, so we're not painting that. Calipers painted red. I went ahead and went around that in black. The only thing is I didn't go all the way in, because the wheel, when you put the wheel on, it goes about 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch away from the edge. That's good enough. Doesn't look too bad. All right, both sides are done. Now, like I said, the bad thing about this is that black paint. So there you go, that one. Is that black paint takes forever to dry. Basically, I just tried. We're just seeing how it is. I just used Rust-Oleum, right there. You know, Rust-Oleum, gloss black and red. I had it, so might as well give it a try. All right, now let's go ahead. Let's get underneath this thing and see about that bracket. So it goes right here. Let's see here, get this light out of the way. So it bolts on between here and here, like right in here. So that would mean I'd have to take this plastic cover off right here because of the bolt. Yeah, the thread on the back of this is not very much. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. So that thread is not a lot. So we're definitely gonna have to get a new bolt, because again, I do not trust that these bolts right here. Like I say, I know that this is probably, I want to take this nut off. I know this is probably what they are recommending to use, what came with the kit to use, but like, I just don't feel it right there. Let's just go ahead and make sure that this is the right size, which gives me a little more length, because the one that's on there ain't gonna hack it. Yeah. So as you can see, that's plenty long enough. It is extremely long, because that's about where it's gonna sit. It's off of the bracket and it goes all the way through. So that's a good thing. And you can see that also you can see that the shank part right here goes through the whole thing, and this isn't like thread. The threads come out the other end. Yeah, perfect. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get online and find this bolt right here, but in better metal than this. So yeah, that just ain't working. Like I said, because this has got to go on and it'll be fine when it goes on. Just need better bolts. All right, now I guess we're gonna call it a day on this, because this basically I'm gonna clean these wheels off. They're a little dirty because of the mud the other day. They don't need cleaned. When I put them back on, I'll wash the car, but this has got to sit like this probably till tomorrow. Or should I just pick up the video tomorrow? I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, this has to sit, because that black paint that's on there is still like Mondo wet and sticky and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything else I really need to do on this thing? You know what, we're just gonna pick this video up tomorrow. So we did a little bit of work today, this and that. We're gonna pick it up tomorrow, because there's no need for me to get into something different, because really what I want to do is cut the grass, because the grass is really long and this and that, and we're not going to do that. So I'm going to let this sit overnight and let this dry, and get this light out. Let this dry, and then tomorrow I'll put the wheels on. You'll be able to see what it looks like. We'll take the front ones off. We're gonna massage the front fenders a little bit more, and we'll go ahead and paint the front calipers tomorrow. I'll go ahead and show you tomorrow how I did the front ones, you know, which is basically what I did. Gotta let this grass dry a little bit more. It's still wet out. Let it dry. Then we're gonna get out and cut this grass. We got the distributor out for that. Don't worry, we're gonna be getting on that here. We might pick this up after we get the Civic done. We might do the next video on this right here. Go ahead. This needs a little bit of love. It's got a flat tire, distributor. We're gonna do some work to this, and it's underneath, out of the elements. So we're gonna get on this. So I guess we'll catch you tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day. We've got the, let me set this down real quick. So there's the back one right there. They're done. Looks pretty decent. I'm not expecting, like, you again, this is not show quality finish. I'm not trying for show quality finish. So just a little brush, and then just paint around it. Again, I'm not looking for show quality finish. I'm just looking for a cleaner look. Eventually, yes, this thing will probably yeah, I got it in neutral. Eventually, like I said, this thing will probably need new front brakes. But until then, well, I ain't gonna say new front brakes. It's gonna need new brakes all the way around. But until then, we're just gonna work with what we got. And like I said, this stuff takes a long time to dry. So basically, I let this thing sit overnight, because I checked before I went to bed last night, give or take a little bit, and it was pretty much dry, but I just wanted to, like, you know, let it fully cure up, let it fully harden, and call it a day. All right, there's the black on this side. Let me go around, do the black on the other side, and then we'll get to the red. All right, now on to the red. Now this is where this is going to take a while, because back calipers were a lot smaller than their front. I think this is going to take a coat or two. Like I said, this is going to take a coat or two just because red is just red. Black is black. It's so dark, it covers up really well. Red, not so much. It's going to take a coat, let this dry up some, and then basically let it get a good coat on it, let it tack up, and then another coat or two, because on the back I only had to do 2 coats, but we'll see how the front goes. Okay, so 2 coats of paint later, and probably about 2 hours or so. There we go. Both sides are done, and I mean, like, it just, I mean, like I said, it just took a while. So I painted it, I let it tack up. The black was easy. Again, like I said, the black was just easy. I let it tack up and then gave it a second coat. It is still sticky. Everything's still tacky. So I'm not like... Okay, let's try this again. My battery on my GoPro went dead. I really should pay attention to that. So like I was saying, everything's painted, everything's done. I wanted to put the wheel on. I mean, it's not even flush. So it's away from the rotor. I just wanted to see what it looked like with the red. So silver wheel, red brakes behind it. That actually looks pretty clean. Not gonna complain about that at all. Again, this is not like, not trying to make this a show car. I'm just trying to clean it up some, make it look a little bit better than what it does. Again, we just need to clean this thing up. I did notice, which I forgot to mention earlier, is when I had the back apart, is there's a little bit of rust. Yeah, as you can see, it falling apart. So there's like right back in this right here, there's a little pocket where water can just collect. So needless to say, we have a little bit of rust on the rocker right there. We're not gonna, like, I'm not saying we're not gonna repair it. We are gonna repair that. We're not gonna stress on that. We'll be getting to that here shortly. I've got to buy some fiberglass reinforced body filler for this. So we might as well buy a, well, I mean, we're gonna wind up buying a big can anyways. We're probably gonna wind up buying like probably the big gallon of it, because this is gonna need it, and we're gonna need a little bit more, little bit on this right here. This side, that side over there is really bad, but it's fixable. This side over here just has a little bit. It's so it hasn't gotten bad yet. Like I said, yeah. So we'll wind up, we need to go to Harbor Freight and pick up like a big wire wheel. So I need, like, I've got a whole bunch of little ones like this, but Harbor Freight sells the big one of these that you can hook onto your cordless, not cordless drill, onto your angle grinder, and we need that for this, so that way I can really just grind and get that all done. Same thing, that wire wheel will come in handy for this, because trying to fix a lot of the body work with that little itty bitty, them wire wheels, not working. Because I want that big one, so it's like when we're going through these areas and cleaning this up, same thing right here, and cleaning all this up, it'll just make it so much easier with the big wire wheel versus the little ones to really just go to town and clean this thing up. All right, well, that's all we're going to do for the day, because again, now I have to let these set till tomorrow, and I'm not going to drag this video on until tomorrow. So take the jacks out, leave it on the jack stands, and let it sit till tomorrow. When all of this dries up, then we'll put the wheels on. Now, which I said we're going to go to the Silverado next. This, you know, runs and drives, there's no issues with it. We do still got more work that we want to do to this, but I want to go ahead and I want to get the Silverado and see if I can get that thing running. So I guess next we'll be getting out on the Silverado and trying to get the new distributor in that thing and see if we can get that running, because again, this is good enough for now. I'm happy with the outcome. So I guess stay tuned for the next one. We'll be working on the Silverado. See you then.